Welcome to the Saucy Scribes podcast.
Alex, your resident book psycho.
I'm Ashley, your crystal-loving cat lady.
And I'm Allie, your aspiring author.
And welcome to our episode of The Deep Dive of Brimstone by Callie Hart.
Yes.
And welcome to 2026.
Woo! Crazy.
Yes, welcome back to the Saucy Scribes podcast, where we pair our books with booze because, frankly, these characters drive us to drink. We will give a brief summary of the lovely cocktails we have planned for the month and keep an eye out on our Instagram at Saucy Scribes Pod for the recipes every Monday. Today, we're kicking off our cocktail lineup for Brimstone, a book full of vampire politics, alchemy chaos, and enough sexual tension to set the liquor store on fire. So obviously, we needed beverages that burn, bite, and maybe curse you a little. Grab a glass, light a match, preferably on purpose, and let's talk Brimstone cocktails.
First up, we have Onyx's Bond, inspired by the fox who stole our hearts and shattered them into 1,000 sparkling pieces. This drink is a white chocolate gimlet, smooth, bright, and a little unexpected, because Onyx was all loyalty and light wrapped in a deceptively delicate package. The sweetness hits first, just like that first, "Oh no, I love him" moment. Then the lime cuts through sharp, the way his sacrifice cut through all of us.
Then we have the unmasking. Every ball has its secrets, but this one pours them over ice. The unmasking is our blood orange Aperol spritz inspired by the enchanted wine that duped an entire ballroom of vampires right back to their fey forms. It's bright, ruby red, and dangerously pretty. The kind of drink that whispers, "Trust me," while absolutely planning your entire downfall.
Then we have Scorpion Stinger, the cocktail inspired by that chaotic disaster of a chapter where Fisher and Carrion get absolutely demolished by a demon scorpion the size of a small horse. And by demolished, we mean stung, panicking, possibly hallucinating, and definitely questioning every life choice that led them there. This drink is sharp and just dangerous enough to make you feel like you too might start whispering your will to your friends just in case. With a citrus snap and a slow burning finish, it hits fast, kind of like venom, then lingers long enough to make you wonder if you should sit down.
We have the Break Rune, a brimstone mocktail. The Break Rune might undo everything. Both spells higher existential crises. But this mocktail, it's here to heal your soul, not crack it. Inspired by Saeris, sealing some of her runes and getting her break rune. This one comes with layers of flavor, a dramatic rune shard garnish, and a color that looks like magic about to break loose.
And that's our full Brimstone cocktail lineup. 4 drinks as dramatic as the plot and twice as dangerous to your self-control. Whether you're toasting Onyx's sacrifice, dodging scorpions, tricking treacherous vampires, or using an undo rune, these cocktails are here to keep your magic levels comfortably chaotic. Sip responsibly, channel your inner Saeris, and remember, if your drink starts glowing, humming, or whispering nonsense, that's between you and the alchemists. Cheers!
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 Our Patreon's officially live. If you love the show, consider becoming a first-year scribe for just $5 a month. You'll get early access to our ad-free episodes, a digital cocktail booklet for each book we cover, and an exclusive printable dust sleeve designed to mimic the look of vintage leather-bound books. Perfect for dressing up your romantasy shelf. This membership is a way to support the show and help us continue bringing this magical, messy, and swoony content to life. And if you've got a moment, we'd love if you rated and reviewed the podcast wherever you are listening.
Before we dive in, we need to give a spoiler warning. We will be discussing the entirety of Brimstone and the Fae and Alchemy series, including any bonus material and anything Callie Hart has said in interviews. If we reference another series spoiler, we will give a spoiler sound in the episode so you can skip ahead.
And a quick note from your saucy scribes before we descend into the fire. Brimstone is not a gentle love story. It's dark, volatile, and soaked in obsession, where desire and destruction flirt shamelessly across every page. Expect violence, trauma, grief, vengeance, and scenes that burn hotter than a fire sprite. Romantasy doesn't soften its edges, and neither do we, so consider this your velvet-lined trigger warning. If any of those themes feel heavy, step away when you need to. Protect your heart. That always comes first. But if you're ready to chase the chaos, pour something strong, steady yourself, and follow us straight into another realm. All right, Scribes, let's open the Shadow Gate into Brimstone.
Okay, besties, buckle in because Brimstone said, what if everyone was in danger, emotionally compromised, and slightly on fire, and then just fully committed? We begin our story right where we left off in Quicksilver. Our boy Kingfisher is out prowling the obsidian halls of Ammontraíeth like a feral fey security system. The vampires hate him, he hates them back harder. Someone attacks, Fisher turns him into a decorative smear on the wall, but he's keeping his mate safe. Onyx reappears in our story and nearly dies crossing the world to return to Saeris. This tiny fox outruns the undead, starvation, and fate purely through loyalty. Kingfisher saves him by using up his only healing magic. We cry, no notes. Saeris goes from oops, I'm human to surprise, I'm a fey vampire hybrid and your new queen of Sanisroth. We head into the Hall of Tears for her coronation ceremony, where the Lords of Midnight are giving full Mean Girls energy. They're like, you can't sit with us unless you drink your boyfriend. And Saeris goes, say less, and takes a sip like it's her favorite wine, but accidentally injects Fisher with raging sex hormones in front of the entire court. God, I love this book. A Lord of Midnight makes the worst decision of his immortal life and tries to assassinate her because, of course, he does. And of course, Fisher kills him instantly. So Saeris makes a new rule. Hurt me or mine, and I'll end your entire lineage. The court takes notes because they literally are bound by magic and have to. After the coronation, feeding and intimacy turns into a whole thing, equal parts spicy, emotional, and magically explosive. Saeris and Kingfisher's bond deepens, if that's even possible, and we are living for their explosive sex life. Saeris has to play political chess with immortal vampire drama queens. The Lords of Midnight challenge everything, her blood, her strength, her right to breathe. She smiles, threatens them politely, and starts rewriting all the rules. Then we get dead bodies, magic-draining cursed feeders, and Saeris discovering a literal Quicksilver portal like she just found Narnia behind the dryer. How convenient, now she can go to college whenever she wants. Back home, Fisher is like, I can't give you my true name in a Fey wedding because I don't know it. Things then go off the rails. Edina, Fisher's mother's spirit, shows up to possess a still unconscious Lane like she's auditioning for Paranormal Activity 6. Then Fisher and Carrion yeet themselves off to Zilvarin in search of Silver and Hayden when Saeris stays behind training and doing the gods only know what. Saeris discovers her runes are doing the magical equivalent of overheating, which is incredibly painful unless she seals them. Meanwhile, in Zilvarin, Fisher and Carrion sneak through hostile territory, find Carrion's emergency stash, a literal bank he hid like a dragon, and promptly walk into a tower full of traps and a scorpion demon who is way too enthusiastic about stabbing people. When Fisher is being poisoned and hallucinating mommy issues, Saeris is back home wrecking the library, surviving assassination attempts, and reminding everyone that Silver can't kill her, but she can accidentally blow structural holes in public buildings. Whoops. Fisher outsmarts the demon scorpion with a bargain because he's Fey, and of course, and then Fisher and Carrion finally start the bromance we've all been waiting for, by Carrion opening up to Fisher about his broken heart being unable to love Saeris. Aw, and thank God. Yes, we were right. Saeris and Fisher meet in a dreamscape to share intel and what vibes. Saeris figures out her rune issues with Foley, who diagnoses her with Alchemerian shield but unstable, which is honestly the vibe of her whole life. Meanwhile, Fisher gets accused of murdering Saeris by Hayden. Awkward. Saeris trades a memory at the forge to make a relic. Hazarak's unimpressed. Fisher and Carrion escape Zilvarin because, surprise, Elroy has a hidden illegal Quicksilver pool in his basement. That's convenient. Saeris finally conquers the Quicksilver pool and binds it to her soul, which pings Fisher like a magic Find My Mate alert. He returns just in time for Aureus to attempt a power move, and Saeris and Fisher send him packing with a threat wrapped in poetry. Foley mourns his transformation, Edina's pages finally form the Blue Book, and Fisher receives a posthumous Trust the Girl from Edina. Saeris accidentally discovers Brimstone can incinerate a cursed feeder, and the group realizes Brimstone can kill the rot, but at a high cost. Then chaos ramps. It's time for the Evenlight Ball. Isabel unleashes her cure, turning high bloods back into Fae and starting mass hysteria. Saeris uses the break rune to stop the spell and save Tal, but this fallout is huge. The rot is coming and they must all evacuate Kalish, and Fisher vanishes during their Shadowgate jump. Saeris saves Tal from suicide, trauma all around. Carrion confirms himself as heir, and Saeris heads into the Wicker Wood to rescue her man. Thanks, Adina, again. She uses the break rune and Fisher's real name, Kaidan, to undo Fisher's oath to Belicon. Onyx sacrifices himself, heartbreak, and Kaidan cuts off Belicon's head, which is very satisfying, but somehow doesn't kill him. Saeris resurrects Onyx, destroying the break rune and all of us. And the group reunites with Renfis, who finally drops the Knight of the Erythian lore bomb. The book ends with Saeris and Kaidan walking straight into another realm we will call Hell, with a mind-reading dragon trap. And then, the bomb of all bombs. His father is the king of Hell, aka the god of shadows, and Fisher has the right to a dragon? What timeline are we on? And that's Brimstone.
Truly.
My goodness.
Whoa.
Welcome to the part of the episode where we grab the red string, pin it to the murder board, and attempt to make sense of the chaos that Callie Hart has unleashed upon us. These are the theories, connections, and unhinged possibilities that keep us awake at night. So settle in, because we're about to tug the threads that hold the world together or unravel it completely. This is Threads of Theory.
And before we start pulling things apart, I do just want to say a disclaimer of we know, we read the book, we've seen all the discourse about the editing errors in this book. We get it. We're not going to spend a lot of time on just the editing errors because, obviously, we know Carrion is not supposed to be in a place he wasn't supposed to be. It's not part of this.
One line.
It's not part of the storyline. There are other things in the storyline that are definitely more confusing than that. So push it all aside.
Did everyone catch that? All of you readers, did you catch that? Okay.
The Carrion, and he also says that Saeris is still in Zilvarin when he means Yavelia or something. There's a lot of editing errors. The editor for this book probably got fired. I'm just saying.
So, I feel like I'm going to pull a leave Brittany alone. Leave Callie alone, okay? She got enough guff over the first cover. Can we just chill?
I know.
We can all chill. I will say a lot of people are saying they rushed this book, which is why the editing's so bad. I don't think that is true. This book, I think, has been written for a long time, because if you have the original copy of Quicksilver, that's the indie version, in the back, it said the book was supposed to be released October 2024. So I'm pretty sure that this book has actually been written for a long time. I don't think the editing was rushed. I think it was just done very poorly.
Cool.
Unless she decided to rewrite the whole book or something, which she might have. I think that also could have happened. But
readers, I still loved it. So.
Yes, let's start off with Onyx running across the mountains to see her. There is a theory going around that Onyx is more than a fox.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think? After reading this book, I think, yes, he could definitely be more than a fox.
I'm leaning familiar.
You're leaning witchy?
I'm leaning witchy.
Yeah, I'm leaning familiar too. I don't think he's a shapeshifter fae or anything like that.
Yeah,
there doesn't seem to be
I don't
that
think
in
so
this
either,
world.
Because I also feel like for shapeshifters, most times when they die, they shape back into their original form, whatever that is. There was no transformation upon death. So
Agree.
I feel like most definitely a familiar. My God. I mean, I have mine. He's just over here.
I also don't think
he popped right into scene when we started talking about it. He was like, hi.
Yeah.
I also don't think it's a coincidence that she wrote that his relic that he uses for the Quicksilver is a small charm from one of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like an offhand comment that's way too specific. So I wonder if there's a god who sends out familiars and that type of thing that we haven't gotten into yet.
Yeah, the way that they can communicate is way too just... It's not animal to fae, whatever she is anymore, half-breed.
Yeah.
I think it's more. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, he comes into the dreamscape with her and Fisher, and I feel like only a familiar would be able to do that.
Yeah, going through different realms.
Yeah.
Unless it's a totally different species. But yes, I think it's familiar as well.
Let's move on to discussing her coronation and just the fact that she doses Fisher in front of everyone. I've never eaten up a scene more. It's so delicious and funny. Yep. I was laughing hysterically.
Yeah. Me too.
It was 10 out of 10, no notes.
10 out of 10, no notes.
And then immediately it's counterbalanced by Fisher turning the other Lord of Midnight into literal mist of blood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, which is exactly who I want to talk about next. So now having read the whole book, we know Aerith was actually a like messenger spy or whatever for the God of Shadows, Styx.
Yeah.
Do we think he knew that when he killed him and like that he was like looking for an excuse to take him out?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I do wonder, because it also does seem like he had kind of like a little bit of a personal vendetta against him. And he was like, you know what? I'm not going to be in this court and listen to you. I'm just
I
going to
also
take care of
think,
this.
you know, he is aware that he's like newly mated and bonded. And I feel like in most other instances, he holds himself back when people get too close to Saeris. And in this instance, he was just like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm going to murder you, no questions.
Yep.
It just felt a little like, curious about that. But he also like brushes it off as like, oh, he's just like this crazy fanatic. But that's also, I feel like Fisher just being Fisher.
Yeah. And also now having read the end of the book, I'm like, ooh, but you must know who
I think he did know.
he is and who his dad is.
Or suspect that he actually was in communication with Styx.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to, at the end, obviously, a huge discussion of whether we really think that's his father, et cetera, et cetera. But so let's just call him Styx for now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I feel like hopefully it gets answered in book 3. Who knows at this point because...
Oh my God, it must be answered in book 3.
But who knows? There's so many questions
honestly,
that come up in this book. I don't know if that little detail is going to come back.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We shall.
Something else that's interesting that's kind of a through line that starts here is that he continues to leave out the dresses his mom made for Saeris on her bed, and she continues not to wear them.
I feel like at some point he really should have been like, hey, so like my mom made these for you. It takes way too long for him to be like, I'm not just being possessive and just, please, my darling, wear this dress.
Yeah.
It's actually way more sentimental than that. And he just takes way too long to say it.
But I also like don't get the point of this through line because she continues not to wear them. So like spoiler for ACOTAR, earmuffs for people who haven't read it. Unfortunately, this is an extreme similarity with that series. Rhys's mother also made dresses for Feyre and Rhys's future mate. And like it was such a beautiful point in the story though, because you're like, oh, Rhys's mother didn't even get to meet her, and it's like she knew her anyway, and it's such a beautiful thing.
So beautiful, yeah.
But because Saeris is rejecting the dresses, it feels very like maybe his mom didn't really know her. Like, I don't understand the point of this storyline.
It feels like one of those things that she had written into the first book, so she's like, well, I have to bring it into the second book, but then like just doesn't get to the point of it.
Like, I feel like if she left it out, I would not have even noticed.
Fair, yeah.
It's just
and also,
so weird.
Is she like taking them from one court to the other court? Did she just have her entire wardrobe moved?
Apparently. I will say there are so many plot holes in this book. And obviously during the deep dive, we're going to tear them apart. But at the end of the deep dive, I'm going to be like, okay, and back to being a passenger princess so I can enjoy this series.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
There are an insane amount of plot holes. That's one of them. That's just like, that wasn't really thought about. And I don't think it was on purpose, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So Isabel comes back into our story fairly early on. Laura still hates her with a passion, which we get breadcrumbs about why this is, but I'm wondering if this is kind of like a setup because we know there might be spin-off books if Loreth and her are going to have an enemies to lovers spin-off arc. And I'm kind of feeling it after reading this book in its entirety because she doesn't like let up on it at all. And it's like very sidebar character-y to the point where it feels like she's almost saving the development of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like keeping her in it enough to where she's still in your mind, but not giving her enough of a development here.
Yeah, same thing with Loreth. It's like we kind of get like his ancestors have history with the witches. That's like as much as we know. And we're like, okay, still don't really get why you hate her.
I need more. Yeah.
I need more. It feels very holding back the information for a later date.
Yeah. It is, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Isabel, so we learn a lot about her and the witches in this book. We learn their kingdom is called Nevercross, their castle, and that their library has secrets down there that should never be experienced by others, which is Saeris even notes, she goes, that's a weird way to phrase that.
Mm-hmm.
And we know from last book that they're considered dragon lovers and whatever, which now with the tie-in of this book is like, oh, they clearly worship Styx and hell. And that's also where the dragons come from.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also,
And
you guys, we totally called dragons.
we did.
We totally called
did.
dragons.
You even called them that they were like chilling in another realm through Quicksilver.
We did.
And I remember when you said that too, I was like, oh, that feels like a stretch to me. But okay, yeah, that could be possible. And then it happened and I was like, Allie was right. Oh my God. I think it's because in my mind, I couldn't imagine a dragon like flying out of the Quicksilver. I was like, okay, maybe.
Dragons and daddy issues continues.
Oh my God, this is going to be the epitome of dragon and daddy issues. Literally. Yes. And we get more breadcrumbs about hell in this book before the end, too. So, like, when Lainey is, like, seizing and whatever, and they all are talking about how there's this entity in the room or where she is, on a reread, she's definitely in hell, and hell is trying to come through. And Fisher even says it. But we just take it as like that saying of like, oh, hell.
Like a metaphor.
Like a metaphor, exactly. When he's literally meaning like hell.
He's like, no, really, you guys.
Yes. But what's interesting is we also find out that witches outlawed that magic, that hell magic with dark magic, where all that comes from, which is why Algat was cast out of the witches. So maybe that's where all the misunderstanding comes from of witches being dragon worshipers and practicing dark magic is maybe they used to do it or they know how to do it, but they've learned that it's just not something that you mess with.
They know too much.
They know too much. But also it seems like they have a portal to hell in their basement. Anyone? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or in the library.
In the library, yes.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of, once again, like
Yeah.
Akatar,
Yes.
spoiler. Yes. At the bottom of the mountain, the library of hell. Yes.
Yeah. I also feel like the library obviously is a portal in itself, right? I wonder.
I think so, yeah.
I wonder if the library is also like sentient, and I think there was the quote in there was what was it about the library? It was that
has secrets down there that should never be experienced.
Yeah, should never be experienced. Might kind of refer to, because in romantic, a lot of the things that we discuss all the time is fake news and the storytelling of history versus what actually happened there. I wonder if something that's never to never be experienced might refer to histories that contradict the official narrative about the witches and the dragons and the War of the Realms and all of that stuff. Like what actually got Algat exiled, like how portals were originally opened, who the witches worshipped, why dragon magic.
I mean, Algat definitely seems a little crazy and
yeah. But I mean, it's never black and white, right? Like there has to be reasons and stuff. So I feel like, if the library hides memories that rewrite everything that we think we know, like what happens, what's going to happen now?
Well, especially because they were involved in the blood course originally. They had the cure. Like, it just feels like there's so much more to the story.
Yeah.
And I hope we get that development next book. I was surprised in the direction that this book went, so not sure if what I'm expecting for next book, to be honest.
Yeah.
It went in a lot of directions.
It went in a lot of directions I did not see coming. I remember texting you guys and being like, I did not realize we were going on this journey. Did not have any of this on my bingo card.
Yeah. I was just going to talk about the witches and worshiping Styx. Do you think that they still do?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. Especially because at the end, Fisher says, or his brothers, whatever we're calling them, they say that Fisher killed his father's one emissary to Yavelia.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they do.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're like descendants of people who did.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe they are actually people who came through that Quicksilver who are from hell, who made a home in Yavelia and were generations down, and they no longer believe.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It reminds me of spoiler for Thrones of Glass, the witches kind of
Yeah. I also wonder if portal magic was originally their magic, dark magic. Dragons were the physical representation of that magic, and witches were the channel through all of that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also worth pointing out that we have a very unreliable narrator for these
Mhm.
key pieces of information. So
Yeah. She
who
got more
knows?
unreliable in this book too.
Yeah.
I do feel like it was purposeful, but it was kind of annoying. I hate when authors clearly it's like, oh, Loreth told me about it, but I'm not going to think about it in this moment, so it's a surprise to the reader later. And I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a little dumb.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this could have been done in a more creative way if you wanted
Yeah.
it to be a surprise.
Totally. Totally. Totally.
But yes, she's become quite a bit unreliable. Also,
Mhm.
apparently Fisher is unreliable, although I do feel like Callie has written herself into a back corner a little bit by saying that he can't lie, because that's where a lot of the plot holes seem to spring up for me,
Yeah.
is because of that truth in the universe. But there are a lot of instances, and we've pointed out last book where he said, Malcolm was the only one strong enough to turn someone and have them retain their soul or whatever. And then Tal later on does it. And he definitely knew
Yeah.
Tal could do it. It's like, okay, you've definitely written in some plot holes for you. But once again, passenger princess hat, let's just move past
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, because I was like, is Tal like the reincarnation of some like priestess line? You know what I mean? I was like, what's
Right.
happening here? Yeah,
Which also brings up literally another plot hole we get into right here, is that Fisher confesses that he doesn't know his true name.
yeah,
And it's really weird plot point in this book when we know from the gate that his mother had a very special, important message for him, that he had to guard his true name because his life depended on it. And it's like, but he doesn't know it. So why would you say that? Like, it
He's
doesn't make
guarding
any
it
sense.
really, really well.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. That line makes no
yeah.
sense now.
I mean, it's kind of like, I'm not going to tell you what it is because you can't tell anyone.
And I think she tries to cover it up because it's, oh, well, I find out when I'm 14, but then she was dead before then, so it died with her. But then it's like, you must protect this with your life. And he's like, but I don't know it.
Yeah, he probably got that message from her and was like, cool, thanks for that, Mom. That wasn't cryptic at all, because I don't
Not at
know
all.
my freaking name.
Do you think that it could be because his true name is tied to Styx?
Kaiden? I don't
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because Styx wouldn't know his true name anyway. Only the mother and their
Only the mother
child
yeah,
knows the
yeah.
name.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense.
It's a plot hole to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we get to the rot pretty quickly in the book, which this is one of those things I did not have on my bingo card. I know in Quicksilver, obviously, we meet Zareth and he talks about the rot, but I thought it was metaphorical rot.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was actual
Like
plague.
a physical embodiment.
Yes, that was
Literal.
destroying worlds. And so when it started happening, I was like, oh, I did not think this is where we were going.
Right.
I don't know about you guys. Did you think it was actual physical rot when you read that last book?
I thought it could be both.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I didn't think that it was going to manifest in the way that it did.
Very quickly and very just murdering mass amounts of people right
Yeah,
away.
with
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
lava.
realize that it was going to be like a literal physical thing that you could see. I don't know.
I did not
Yeah.
see that part coming. And I also feel like, at least for me, I kind of wish the series was longer and not 3 books. It feels like right now too many ideas shoved into one book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This feels like a part 2 story to me. You should have tied up the triumvirate, all of Madra's stuff that we had questions about in first book, and then, or third book. And then it's a 5-book series, and then we get into the rot and the plague, and it's a bigger destruction of universes outside of our universe.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
This feels just so confusing, at least to me. And it's during this whole book, we didn't even get any questions answered about the triumvirate, which was the whole big spin of the last book.
Yeah. The way that I kept thinking about this as we were prepping for this episode is Iron Flame, right? And a lot of people had issues with Iron Flame, but it's a setup book. But also there's more books past Onyx Storm. And so it feels like this either needs to be a part 1 of 2 or
It was a lot. It feels like it should have been a 5-book series, and knowing that it's a trilogy, I'm just like, wow, you're cramming way too much.
agreed.
You edit,
Yeah.
Or have this be the main
also-
storyline of the spinoff.
Yeah,
Like,
the first 200 pages.
oh yeah, we're
it
like barely into the book right now. We're talking about a whole different storyline about what. I mean, we also bounce because, you know, we're in Fisher's mind, we're in Saeris's mind, all over the place in this book. So next we bounce into Saeris, and she's having her talk with Tal and about their bond and everything. And I just wanted to say that he describes their bond of maker and maid like parent and offspring. And I just want to say we were right because boo, yeah, there's no love triangle.
No.
Mic drop.
Unbelievable.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
It feels so good when you're right.
It does.
And then we bounce right into Fisher's side of the story, and him and Carrion go on their bromance journey to Zilvarin, which there are some fans on Reddit and things who are kind of like, I don't understand this part of the book. It feels like you could pull it out and nothing changes, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we get the bromance we have all been waiting for. It's actually like my favorite part of the book, and I'm like, don't you dare cut it out. It's the only part of the book that makes sense.
Me too. Like beginning, middle, and end. There's a journey. There's a story. We can follow it.
You know? And I love their banter. I love that Carrion, you know, eventually gets under his skin. And even he's like, am I finding him funny now? Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Also, I'm really happy that we had Kingfisher's POV specifically for this. I mean, obviously we needed it to get there, but like hearing his thoughts about Carrion and everything is just so funny. He's like, I'm going to grab him. We're going out the window.
Yep.
I love it. I mean, I loved Carrion first book. I love him even more now. I love when he takes him to get a beer and he's like, God, this is so disgusting. And he's like, what? Beer is not supposed to be hot?
Yeah.
It's so funny. While they're in Zilvarin, they find a corpse in the demon tower that is clearly Fae.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what?
Yes. I'm like, my first thought was, oh, this is Finran, like 100%, because of the comment last book where Fisher was like, my father's bones lie rest somewhere in Zilvarin.
Right.
But on a reread, I don't think it is that. I think it's more like a nugget to make us think that there are more Fae that were trapped in Zilvarin than we originally thought when the portals closed.
Which Elroy does confirm.
Yes, but because of the bones comment, I immediately was like, bones, Fae bones.
Yeah.
Fae bones.
Yes. And then we get Joshin's secret. And I'm just going to say, because on a reread and when you know the ending of this book, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Where there is light, there is always darkness. Shadow Weaver. Kill a queen, you will need to visit the darkest of all places. You will need to you will need to strike a deal far more costly than this one if you hope to succeed. And the beast who lies in wait for you there will not be so easy to trick as me. She will eat you whole, Shadow Weaver. It is so clearly hell and dragons on a reread.
Not subtle.
Not subtle at all. And I love it. I love on a reread when you're like, oh, that's not like, this was a great plot device to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Because it feels like Joshin spoiled the sequel and none of us realized until the end.
Exactly. Which is what you want. That's like what you want because it's fun.
And it also makes sense. Like the through line is there. So you're like,
yes.
And then they love those moments where you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what that meant.
I love it too. Like when I was doing this outline, I was rereading it and I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
And then they start hallucinating. So I don't know, everyone listening or even you guys, if you have the Target version of the book, you get a bonus chapter from Carrion, but it's not in all of the copies of the book.
I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
So Carrion's hallucinating here about a girl and saving her life and all those things. You find out about her in the bonus chapter from Target edition. So if you don't have the Target edition, go buy it, or maybe I'm sure someone's put it online already to read it. And the bonus chapter is basically a little story about, in this part of the book, find out that Carrion's heart has been broken, which is the reason why he can't love Saeris, which was also the audio clip Callie shared, which we were right about, that it was Carrion and not Tal.
Yep.
Yes. And the little clip is about that broken heart in this girl, and he's hallucinating the girl here. So
Like,
it's a cute,
cannot wait.
yeah, it's a cute little chapter. It's like one of those things like from her website where it's like, oh, this actually like really adds something to the story that's on a different timeline. It's great. Check it out. I think it's probably the bridge for the spin-off series she wants to write about Carrion.
Which he needs.
Yes.
Clearly, she loves him because no side character should be holding this much power in a storyline.
This much weight. He carries the story,
He
man.
carries a lot of story on his back.
All of
Yeah. Yeah.
All of it.
Yes. Let's go back to Saeris' side of the story when they're in Sylvarin.
Mhm.
She spends a lot of time in the library, and we meet Algat, who is a cranky old witch lady who she's mean and cranky, but I kind of also love her.
I do too.
I agree.
I do
I know
too.
she's not supposed to be a positive character, but I'm like, wait, I secretly love you though.
I know, because she's like the old cat lady. She's like the old, like bitter cat lady, but her intentions are good. You know, I don't know.
I don't know that her intentions
not.
are good.
But
I don't know
not.
about that.
It's just
But
because she
okay.
has a cat who I really like.
Can
Yeah.
I just tell you that, like, when I picture her, in Sword in the Stone, the witch,
Yes.
My gosh.
exactly what I picture.
That is her. You are correct. That is her. 100%.
I kind of like that, like, bouncy,
I love that.
like.
That is definitely her.
I love that.
I think she even has a cat in Sword in the Stone, too.
Of course, hello.
course.
Witches always
Witches
have
and cats.
Why wouldn't she have a cat? Especially
wouldn't
one
she
that
have a
like
cat?
dissolves into shadow, which
Yeah.
I
love
just
that.
I think it's because she was a shadow worshiper of Styx. He's probably
I
from
agree.
hell.
I agree. I agree.
Yes,
I actually
yes.
didn't put that together until
He's
just
a little
now.
hell kitty.
Yes.
He's a little
Yes,
hell
he's a hell
kitty,
cat.
which is why
He's
he
a hell
also
cat,
loves
baby.
Fisher. He
Oh.
loves Fisher and like what he says, like he forms with him or whatever. They like
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
mesh, their shadows mesh.
I love that.
I love this little hell cat. We love a creature.
Me too.
We love
We
a
love
Even an
creature all
evil
the time.
one.
It doesn't matter
Even
if
the
they're
evil
evil.
ones.
It doesn't matter. A creature's
Doesn't
a
matter.
creature. I'll take them any
Yeah.
day over a human or a fae.
But
Yeah.
Algat tells her, no one has told you why Bellicon and your precious queen Madra both hunted down and murdered all of your kind. Later in the book, Adina says, just randomly in her Let Me Give You All the Answers book, Adina tells her alchemists basically became heralds of the gods, which is why Bellicon killed them because they threatened his power. This just feels like too easy of an answer for me.
Well, and then it basically gets rescinded.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The whole thing is like, I feel like there has to be something so much more about the alchemists that we still haven't found out.
Yeah. Which
There must
again,
be.
how is there only one more book?
Yeah, 100%. Like, is it going to be like a 2,000-page book? Because I feel like it's going to be.
Well, it better be.
It's gonna be The Hobbit.
Yeah. It's going to be The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also meet Foley during this time. Love Foley. He's my new favorite character in the book.
Agreed.
Me too.
Not that we needed another side character quest, but I love that we got one anyway.
Yes, yes.
It is so funny because in contrast to a lot of the other stories, like spoiler for Shield of Sparrows, there were almost no side characters whatsoever.
None,
And then
yeah.
this one has so many side characters that are really well written, who have a lot of depth, but it's almost like too many side characters.
It's a little too many because, like, I will say I was really surprised and a little bummed that Renfis is literally just shut out of the whole story.
He's gone.
He's gone. And
But we
Loreth
got
is
Foley.
Loreth is like
Yeah.
barely in it. Danya's barely in it. And we do get Foley, but it's kind of like you had such rich development for all these side characters in book one, and then they all kind of just like
They
that
what?
was
They
another
what?
one that we called you guys, the Danya, Carrion.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
But I
yeah.
don't think they're
Yeah.
endgame. I think they're just a flirt.
They're
No, I
just a
agree.
side quest.
They're a side quest.
They're
They're not
just
endgame
fucking.
for sure. Because we're definitely getting more of Danya's personality in this book, and I'm like, oh, she's an interesting person.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So then, while they're on their separate journeys during all of this, they have dream sex in their own little dream world because they're mates. So
Boy.
this is a hot button topic on Reddit and all the forums because this book does get a lot of flack for feeling like it steals things from other series.
Mm.
And this is one of those things where it's like, this is going to be such a heavy theme in the next Fourth Wing book
Mhm.
Yeah.
about dream sex that a lot of people were like, oh, okay, she included dream sex.
Yeah, yeah.
That being
But
said,
also, like, who got to publishing first? So
here's my point. That being said, they're not even the first ones to do it. For people who have read the
Yeah.
series, spoiler from Blood and Ash, it is actually a main characteristic of the mate bond in that series.
Yeah.
So it's not completely unheard of in the fantasy fae mate realm. Do I think we needed it in this story? No.
Right. I mean,
I
why
think
not?
it was incredibly confusing, to
I
be
thought
honest.
it was confusing, and to me, so spoiler for From Blood and Ash, just as an example, he uses it as a plot device because during the whole series, that both of them get kidnapped quite a few times, and she needs a way for them to be able to not just have sex and have fun. And it's like a 6-book series too, so she needs a way for her characters to still converse, who are the main characters, the love story, and obviously have spice. But so it makes sense in that series, in that time frame. Here, to me, it's like they were separated for 3 days. I don't really feel like this was necessary.
Yeah.
Also, you didn't even need it later for her to try and find Fisher when he gets kidnapped, because Adina's book is actually the one that gives her the answer. It just feels a little bit like this was not necessary, and I don't totally understand why it's included.
It's just included because everybody loves dream sex,
Sure.
Maybe it's just as simple as that, because you're right.
Yeah. It's a little meh in this story to me, unless it comes in a bigger way in the next book, which it could. But here it felt a little cheap to me.
Yeah. Well, in book 1, the romance and the spicy scenes all equate because of the longing, right?
Right.
But in this book, you guys already have each other. And when you're separated, it's not for that long. Even when he gets back from Zilvarin, she's like, never again. And he's like, never again, I promise. And so then they start doing all the side questing together. So like, it just like didn't need to happen. It didn't contribute anything to their romance. It didn't make the longing more important. So it just feels like, why?
Yeah, I agree. And it's a weird thing, like from an editor's point of view too. I probably would have brought it up to her and be like, people are probably going to compare this to Fourth Wing a lot. Are you sure you need this device in your book? Because you also don't want that as an author too, to constantly be compared to someone else's work.
Totally.
Yeah.
When there is a series that is as popular and as famous as Fourth Wing, it's like if you're going to do something that's similar, you want to do it with intention. And this felt like it didn't have intention, at least to me.
Unless we're missing the entire point, and the entire point of that dreamscape is so that Onyx can be shown going into that dreamscape.
Well,
and
the
so
whole
then
point
it's
is
like,
for
maybe
Onyx.
that's the device. Like,
I was thinking it. I just didn't say it.
The whole
I
point was for
thinking it.
Onyx.
or there's something to be, it's Onyx, or the fact that the tattoos can happen whether they're in real life or the dreamscape. So like if they are separated, they could go into the dreamscape and like elevate their powers or their whatever.
Wait, can we please talk about the tattoos though? Because this is something that bothers me the whole book too. That seems to be a through line through the whole book. But the tattoos don't mean anything. Like they keep trading tattoos, and it's like, are we ever gonna find out what this means?
Yeah, it feels like manipulation.
Also, I saw like a fan comment on Instagram or something the other day that was like, so at some point are they just going to be like fully blacked out with ink? They're getting way too many tattoos and they fuck all the time.
Yeah, tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Tramp stamps.
Like, is their whole bodies just going to be tattoos? Like, when does this ever end?
or is it like a similar tattoo that just keeps getting like volleyed between the two?
Believable.
But also, like, how has this not been explained even why this happens? Like, we're so far in.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's part of the god binding thing, but
Is it?
But is it
think
just like wisps that keep coming through? Like,
I mean, their fates are bound. The magic is compatible. They're bonded. I feel like it's something ancient. They're marked. They're the marked ones for whatever sort of transformation is about to happen. Who could know?
I mean, it's definitely very clear symbolism of we're sharing each other and our feelings and our love and all of that. But it's just like, in a realistic way, you would have so many tattoos by the time you're, by the way, 2,000 years old.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they're going to
You would have no skin left.
Yeah, maybe they're going to turn into dragons. Who could know?
That the tattoos just find them as dragons.
Yes, they turn fully black and covered in tattoos, and those are their dragon.
I'm dead.
Skills.
And they
They're
become
dragon form.
shapeshifters.
Yeah, they are the shifters, not Onyx.
Okay, so Saeris is a vampire, fae, dragon.
Yes, God.
Sure.
God.
Sure, why not?
Why
Oh
not?
my God.
Why not?
Okay.
Dreamwalker.
Dreamwalker. Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Foley also claims during this whole library, him and Saeris getting to know each other era, that he never received any letters from Kingfisher and his friends. And then later on, she confronts Zovenia about it, about how come you didn't give him his letters, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, in what universe why would Kingfisher and his friends think that any letters would reach him? First of all, you guys are at war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
B, Zovenia, yes, is the master of correspondence, spy, letters, whatever her official title is. Why in the world would she give letters that would help a vampire who's not a member of their court and refuses to show loyalty and fealty to them?
Mm-hmm.
And yet Saeris is mad about all of that.
Also,
like,
why did she keep them? Where was she keeping them?
Why
Was
were
it
they
just
not
like,
burned?
Here's
Like,
my
come on.
Foley drawer.
so many questions. This
Mhm,
is one of those
mhm.
plot lines that I'm like, I'm confused.
Who is the deliverer between the two of them?
Yeah.
Who's the messenger boy? Like,
Yeah, let me cross the darn and go through all the feeders who want to kill me to deliver this letter to a vampire realm who, by the way, hates us.
yeah. Because also, he could have given them to Tal to be like, hey, I know this is your court. Clearly, they were friends in the last book. Like, I don't know. This is a weird. The letters, why are they there?
Yeah, I don't. Other
yeah.
than to obviously show that Kingfisher and the Lupo Parelia didn't give up on him, they're always going
Yeah.
to consider him one of them. I think that's the only reason it's here. I think there's a different way to have shown it that doesn't have, once again, crazy plot holes. This
Yeah.
book is like Swiss cheese with how many plot holes there are. And it's just like, okay, we're just going to let it go and move on.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Yay!
I do love during this part, though, that their conversations, their lessons about runes and the Quicksilver, and he teaches her the thing about magic and circles, that is like the key to Saeris figuring out Madra's plans later.
Yeah.
I do love that. That is great storytelling to me.
Yep.
And it was just so well done that you were just like, as a reader, sitting there thinking like, oh, we're just like learning about magic. And then later it's like, oh my gosh, Zilvarin's a circle in a wheel and Madra's been siphoning all their magic for centuries. Like,
Yep.
genius.
Yep.
But that to me, that should have been like the main plot of this book. Is
It
like
should have
all
been
of
way
that.
more highlighted than it was.
Yes.
It was like, of all
Mhm.
the points to skim over, why that one?
Yes. That should have been the main plot of this book,
That's
mixed
huge.
with Bellicon, like sending people to try and take them out and
Mhm.
all of that, and like more actually vampire politics. You should have left the rot and the gods and all of that for 2
Yeah.
books from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
be a 5-book. You're right.
It should be a 5-book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're back in Kingfisher's POV. Fisher finally gets Hayden, and for almost a second, we think that he might not actually be her brother, but then Fisher says he does smell. So there's blood sharing. But okay, let's discuss Hayden because
He
I
sucks
have-
so much.
he sucks.
So
He
much.
sucks
did
so
we
much.
have to go
Once
back
again,
for him?
After getting to know him in this book, I'm once again like, what was the point of this character? What is the point of him being in this book? What is the point of this story other than just to confuse us more with too much information?
With Hayden, I understand that we needed Hayden to get to Elroy, to get to the Quicksilver pool. Totally get that. But
But did we?
Did we?
Because Carrion also knows Elroy. I don't think that we did.
yeah, I don't know.
He seemed like he would have been better left in Sylvarin, off to his own devices, living his own
Yes,
life.
he sucks.
He sucks.
I feel like we had the same sentiment in Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Just kind of, why is Hayden here? And I know she can write a good side character, so clearly it's
Yeah.
on purpose.
It's definitely on purpose, but we don't find out what the purpose is yet. And hopefully there's a reason for it. I think of the series spoiler for Dawn of Onyx. There's also a side character brother person who ends up being really shitty, but it's because he's one of the betrayers in the story. So is that where we're headed? Is that his purpose, even though he doesn't seem smart enough to do that?
Right, but maybe
Maybe that's what he wants us to think.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe he was easily manipulated, or maybe he's pretending.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, I like the pretending one. That's a good one.
Maybe he's just pretending to be dumb.
He thinks Madra is telling, which is crazy. I love when they point out to him, like, you know that this queen lies to you all the time and yet you're going to believe her over this, like, one thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
but he's also like, yeah, I might.
God, it kind of feels reminiscent about some of our politics and leaders right now.
Sure
Anyone?
does.
Yeah, weird.
Sure does.
Weird how books mirror.
Weird.
Weird.
So weird. Every time he comes on the page, I'm just like, fuck, go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a visceral reaction. I was hoping he'd get lost in the Quicksilver.
Maybe next time.
I kept wanting to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, sure, he's going to wake up confused. Sure, all of this. But like thinking that your sister actually did all of the things that Madra said, like, you're really? You
Like, did you
believed
know her
that?
at all? Like,
I don't know.
it was,
I hated Hayden.
really weird. And
Yeah.
also, like, every time Saeris was pulled to, like, look after him or talk to him, I was just like, she has so many other important things to be doing. Like, literally, can we just kill this character off?
Yes, die.
Yeah. He didn't make it.
No. But who else didn't actually make it was Gracia, we
Yes.
find out, in Zelvarin. And I do think that this was a beautiful, like, side character moment of
Yeah.
seeing Carrion be vulnerable. And it really, I think, bonds him and Fisher's relationship. Like, I think he hugs him. Like, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He embraced.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, I think it's symbolic of Carrion's like core wound. He had to watch so many of his caretakers, the maternal line, pass,
Die.
and then have to
Yeah.
start over again with the people that he probably like helped raise. You know what I mean? And then they're like
Yeah.
raising him in the public eye. It's like he keeps losing every mother, every sister, every child. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And if you have the bonus chapter, you learn he actually lost someone he fell in love with. So I think in his mind, like, humans, there's just no point in loving a human ever because they're just going to hurt you.
Because they die. Yeah.
Because they die.
He's
Yeah.
literally watched. I mean, this is just Gracia's like the last one of so many.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and from that point, we get to the Elroy scene. And then Elroy's just like, well, yeah, I knew. And he's like, why didn't you tell me you knew? I could've
Okay.
used
Yeah.
a friend."
Also,
Yeah.
fuck off, Elroy. But also love him.
Yes.
We love
Yeah.
a character who, pretends to be an idiot.
But I
while
also just
secretly,
Sweet
love that
Elroy.
he secretly had all these answers the whole time. You're just
Yeah.
like, that's
It's, like,
convenient. You just have
crazy.
a casual Quicksilver pool in your basement.
It's absurd.
That's convenient.
It's absolutely absurd and hilarious and
It's
perfect.
absurd.
Yeah.
It's like one of those conveniences that I'm like fine with because like you wanted Elroy to have a more
Yeah.
important twist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also made sense. I don't know.
It did. It
made
did make
sense to me.
sense.
Yeah, no, it made sense to me too. I was like, this tracks. This is a good one.
It was convenient, but like not annoyingly convenient.
I agree.
Then we get back into Saeris's POV. And we start to get to know the Hazarax.
Does anyone else get cereal vibes?
What?
What?
He reminds me of the cereal so much.
Cereal. I thought you said cereal.
I did too.
Yes,
I was like, Special
definitely.
K? Cheerios?
I was like,
what?
I know. I'm
No.
like picturing a bowl. I'm like,
No,
What?
like
Me
he
too, I was
is
like,
the cereal.
I can't wait to eat cereal after this podcast. Yeah.
Well, and this is one of those things that I'm like, okay, fans might be right. Like, she does have so many similarities to other series. Like, he
Yeah.
is the cereal. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
he is.
Okay.
it's giving Akatar for sure.
Yeah.
I loved the cereal, and I really like the
Yeah.
Hazarax.
I love the
Yes.
Hazarax. And I'm annoyed
Me
with her
too.
that she doesn't respect and love him more the way Feyre loves the cereal. I'm like,
Agree.
he's trying to
Correct.
help you, girlfriend. Like, what are you
Correct.
doing?
Also,
Correct.
hello. He's like, how many times are you going to bargain? What are you going to lose every single time that you bargain? So,
Mhm.
like, maybe think about this in a different way, you dumb girl.
Like, your
hello.
memory's going to be, your memory, like this book, is going to be Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Literally. So honestly, her development wouldn't happen without him. And yet she's like, I hate you. Why do you keep showing up?
And
he's
helping
like,
me.
Because you clearly need it.
Because you need help. My God, dum-dum.
Yes, which let's talk about him, of who we think he is, though, for a minute, because
Mm.
he does say a line to her that says when he gives her his name on her as the rune or whatever, and she's like, well, this isn't really your name. And he's like, well, you're finally figuring out who I am, right? Like, because you're so close to figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
actually think she is, which means that we as readers might be able to figure it out too. My biggest guess is that he is a god and he's the god of
Yes.
secrets.
I agree. I think he can be the god of secrets.
Or the god of dawn and new beginnings.
Yeah, or the god, yes, or the god of dawn.
I
and
only
new
say
beginnings.
that because he's so involved with their storyline and the rot and stuff, and like trying to turn this world back into a better place secretly, even though he has been in the vampire court for so many years. I think he knew he might need to, he needed to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although God of
Because
Secrets
he
is an
watches.
easier. Yeah.
God of Secrets is an easier thing, but yeah.
Yeah,
the
but I
God
think
of-
both kind of work a little bit considering
agree.
his involvement and what's going on in this world right now.
Yeah,
I can see
agree.
that.
Yeah, because like when we meet Zareth, he says he's the god of chaos, and then he's like very specific that he's also the god of change. And like it seems like those things encompass more than what their titles actually are, you know what I mean? So when you look at the words dawn and new beginnings, you're kind of like, well, that could mean so many things.
So many things. Yeah.
So many things.
But I mean, in the same way that like chaos and change mirror each other, dawn and new beginnings mirror each other. So that I could definitely see that.
Well, he even says his power is to put out the sun, perhaps. The power to untether gravity, which to me is dawn, literally, and new beginnings, gravity.
Sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I agree.
But if he is one of these gods, like, why isn't he with the rest of the gods where Zareth and Balinman and all of them are living? You know, was he cast out because he disagreed with also pruning the world away or whatever?
Right.
I don't know if I don't think I have any other theories for him other than him secretly being a god.
I don't either.
There is one line in the book where she says that he reminds her of a drawing she saw of some like underwater creature and that he has the same black veins as the feeders infected with the rot. So that's the only other clues we have to who he might be. But if those are clues, I don't really know what they're telling us.
Sure.
Yeah.
We shall see, I hope.
Going back just a little bit to the Carrion, Fisher, and Zolvarin Quicksilver pool situation. So as Saeris is in the room where she needs to open it, instead of Carrion and Fisher coming through, we get Arias and Belicon's guards coming through, and basically they try and convince Saeris to come back with them. So Belicon is very clearly aware of the rot situation. So do we think that he is like part of the reason why it's being perpetuated?
I have no idea. But when this happened as a reader, I was finally like, oh, finally, the big bad villain we care about is in the story.
Yeah.
By the way, we are like I feel like more than halfway through the book. It was like, where is he? This is one of those points where it's like, okay, just like we said about Madra and the wheel earlier, like this should have been the main plot point of this book, is getting more things like this instance.
Yes.
Yeah, because also Arias was in the throne room. So we met him with Belicon.
In book 1, yes.
Yeah, in book 1. So now he's coming back. So clearly he is the person that is point of contact for Belicon. And he is like, come on, girl, we got to go. She doesn't. And then eventually, obviously, that's when like Carrion and Fisher come back. But like, why wasn't this the main plot?
I don't know. And it took so long to get here to the point where I was like, what is Belicon doing?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's the main villain, yet is now not the main villain. Like, it's just...
And Madra.
And Madra. Like,
we literally go to Zolvarin and she's not
we don't see her.
at all. We don't see her.
They said they couldn't kill the 3 of them without killing all 3 of them. So we still don't even know how Saeris pulled that off last book of killing Malcolm, but they're still alive. Like, how that affects their triumvirate magic. Why were these not the main focuses of this story? I don't understand. But let's talk about the other weird plot through line in this book that makes no sense is Lainey.
Oh my goodness.
She's asleep the entire fucking book in a coma after being the most important character in book 1 for a quarter of the book that we also were like, why did we never see her again? And now she's still asleep during this entire book. We talked about a little bit how she gets stuck in what we think is like a hell dream world, which also brings me to, is she actually in hell? Like, is hell one of those places where if you are dreaming and stuck, can your body be somewhere else? You can be like two places at once, which would be really interesting.
Mind and body split.
Yes. And she says the gate is open. It can't be closed. She's clearly referring to the gate that Renfis is guarding. But on a reread, it's clear that Fisher actually knows what she's talking about. And it's not just like he's upset that she's in a coma and having seizures and all that. But I just don't understand the plot of this part of the book. Why is she in a coma? Why is she stuck like this for like 2,000 pages?
Yeah, I know.
I just am so confused.
Yeah. Also, even when they're just like, why is she still in a coma? And it's like, oh, her body just went through so much. And it's like,
did it?
That's the explanation. Okay.
It's just
I don't
boy.
know. It's another why. And I know the why. It was because Adina came through her, but then why couldn't she wake up after that?
Yeah,
like,
but also there's
all of
what
that-
Adina told her didn't need to happen.
Right. And also, like, let's go back to the book, Adina's book in the library. How the hell did it get there?
That is a huge plot hole to me. How in the world is it in the vampire library when their kingdoms were at war for centuries?
I mean, like, she likely had help from a god. Cool. She has magic we don't understand. Fine.
Maybe it's the Hazrax.
Maybe.
Right. I mean, the library isn't sealed to mortals, like, with the right lineage.
Maybe Styx put it there for her because Malcolm and Styx were broy.
Yeah, chums.
But like, why would Malcolm want to help her in any way? Like, what would Styx tell him? Like, I have so many questions.
I mean, isn't there a goddess of masks or something? Like, she could have been.
Yes.
She could.
A theory I have is that she's the goddess of masks.
Yeah, and so therefore she could have navigated every single one of these things, like,
by pretending to be another person, just walked in there,
or another, or even another species, you know.
But also, if that is the case, then, like, okay, obviously at the end we'll discuss it, but like, clearly Fisher is part god. But could that mean that the part god comes from Mom?
Yes,
if
and we'll
she's the goddess of masks?
We'll discuss it when we get to the end, but there's a lot of things to discuss about all of that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, how do we even feel about this plot device? The whole book, I was kind of annoyed by this book. It's just like, here's all the answers you could possibly need. Just follow the instructions. It's so boring in terms of storyline.
Yeah. There's just so
too
much.
easy. It's just too easy. Like, oh, something's going wrong. Let me check the book. It'll tell me what to do. Like, it's just like,
yeah, it says, don't do this until after you've done this. And it's like, are we following a recipe? Because that's what it feels like.
It's so boring to me as a reader in terms of a plot device. I'm just like, this is so dumb. Yeah, don't love it. No, I love, obviously, Adina's sightseeing abilities. I thought she did it right in the first book where it was just like Fisher had this book and all the drawings of his mate and all that. And I think little hints of it throughout this would have been fun, just seeing her feel like she knew Saeris. I think this was going too far of like giving Saeris like literally all the answers of like, Fisher's missing, go to the Wicker Wood. Like,
I did, on the other hand, love the paper lark scene. I thought that was really cool and whimsical, and I liked that.
And I love the tie-in to Kingfishers, that their stargazers are called Kingfishers, and that's his nickname. I loved all of that. But as a plot device, it's just terrible.
Okay, so when I was reading, I looked up, because once I found out that Kingfisher is actually a bird, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. So I looked it up, and it says that Kingfisher, as in the birds, symbolize peace, prosperity, and love. And they are deeply tied to Greek mythology, where gods turned the lovers, we're just going to say two different gods, into these birds, creating halcyon. I'm going to Halcyon, halcyon days of calm weather for their nesting, thus linking them to tranquility, hope, and devotion. Across cultures, it also signifies good fortune, fulfillment, vigilance, and a connection to the divine, appearing in Native American lore as the bringer of luck, and in Christianity as a symbol of the Christ or Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark, new beginnings. Yeah.
So basically, Kingfishers are good luck omens, and they are tied to gods being in love.
Shocking.
There we go.
Okay. Yep. No, I agree. I did love all of that. It just felt like it needed to be a sprinkle versus like the whole plot of the book.
Yeah, and also when Archer freaked out about the thing on the shelf and he's like, don't touch
Yeah.
that. And I was like, well, clearly that's where his name is. And then it took her another 300 pages to figure out, and a dream walk to figure out that that's where the name was.
Yeah.
Well, I think she knew where the name was. I think she just didn't want to know it because she didn't know that she needed to know it yet. And
No, I
until the
don't
timing
know.
was like,
She's nosy as hell.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Also, I really think she, like, because when she first found that first page, she didn't realize it was going to be the book. So I think she just forgot about it.
right.
And it was like, okay, which all that was like fun. But I don't know. So let's discuss Archer. He's the key to us finding out that Brimstone kills the rot. Yay!
Yay.
He sacrificed himself.
Well, almost. Yeah.
Also, virtual pit of hell for these creatures underneath Evelia?
That's where they like it, though. They're made of fire.
No, I understand, but I feel like interesting.
Mhm.
Has it always been there?
Probably.
Yeah. Since
Okay.
the beginning of time.
Yeah.
They're old magic.
Yeah. They're definitely
Okay.
old magic. Also interesting that they have such a close tie to dragons and that the only ones left lived under Kalish. Interesting. Interesting. If Finran is the god of shadows sticks. Just a little point out.
Just a little.
Wait, they were in Avelia, right?
Yes.
Where they live? Okay, right.
Yes.
Thank you.
But they live only in Kalish. Like that's where their colony is.
Okay.
Colony.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
colony.
I don't know
tribe.
what else to call
Colony
it. Their
of sprites.
tribe.
No, I like it.
Yeah, no, I love it.
So next we finally get into the ball, which we discuss, it feels like, for 5,000 pages before it finally happens. Like, this ball is coming, this ball is coming.
So much
blah.
so that I literally texted you guys and I was like, dude, she clearly forgot the ball. Tal told her how important this was. She's not there. What is happening? And then literally like an hour later, I was like, oh, she went. Clearly this was only 12 hours. Wow. Okay. She's at the ball now. Like,
Yeah. But also I love that once again, Adina just straight up tells Saeris what to do.
Yes.
Like, choose Foley, even though once again, a little bit of a plot hole. I don't know why that matters because 5 minutes later, everybody dies.
I mean, even after everybody dies, he matters.
so red wedding.
Red wedding.
But like not in like the same fun, dramatic surprise way. It was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Also, this is the biggest plot hole in the entire series to me of like the cure coming back into play is, okay, so now you're telling me that if I'm about to die, a vampire could save me, turn me into a vampire, and then I could just drink a potion and turn back into a fae.
That a witch made.
So like it could just save my life. It's just like I could go from fae to vampire to fae.
It's a life circle.
It's just a life circle. And if I'm dying on a battlefield, you can instantly save me, but also turn me back fae. So it didn't happen. Like, it's just such a huge plot
but also,
hole to me.
Why give them a choice? You know, to where it's like, you can live if you want.
You should not have brought the cure back into the story, in my opinion, because it creates this, this loop now of like, okay, so Foley was dying. He got saved on the battlefield, turned into a vampire. He's having this whole emotional journey, but then you're just going to be able to fix it with a potion and he could be fae again, like nothing happened. Like, it's just kind of like,
Yeah. It's a lot.
And then also we get Zovenya here, who's like sobbing hysterically. Like, I can't tell if she's happy or sad that she's fae again. Like, was she tricked into being a vampire originally? Don't understand her plot line whatsoever at all.
No.
Her and Tal, the whole thing makes no sense.
Their weird love thing. Why?
And then she dies 5 minutes later, and he's like, I think she had a spell on me the whole time or something. I don't know what I've been doing for the last 1,000 years. And you're just like, I don't know what I was doing reading this part of the book.
Yeah.
What was the point of this?
Okay, but I am intrigued by Carrion and the plants.
Same. Yeah. Obviously, this has to be his magic. Like,
obviously.
And I love that his quirky thing is that he's like taking care of all these plants.
He's like, let me make this a greenhouse.
But that's the most Ashley coded character.
I know. I want to let's plants.
Yes. But is like he gonna be the key to restoring Evelia after the rot has destroyed the land? I think so.
Yeah, of course he is. He's the best character in the book.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we're definitely not done with Hazrax. We're definitely not done with Carrion. Those two are going to team up. No.
I mean, no.
I think that'll maybe it's like they'll solve everything, but the land will be destroyed, and then his journey will be healing the land and falling in
Yes.
love in the
Yeah.
spinoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There is a line that says that the Diantheus line possessed more magic than any of the other houses in Yavelia. So if anyone has the power to restore a realm, it will probably be Carrion, which is
Yeah.
crazy because he doesn't even know he has magic right now.
No, but his line is certainly
Yeah.
maybe the most important one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we touched on it already, but they discover how the feeders are getting into Yavelia because of Madra and the circles and the magic, which is just such a fun, cool thing, even though we don't dive into it more, even though we should. I can't believe they just like figure it out and then they're just like, and moving on.
And
Yeah.
also, Madra has zero input at all, ever,
She's like not even in
at
the
all.
book. Not even in
It's
the book.
just like she's sending them,
The end.
period.
The
Yes.
end. Yep. And now we are up to the Wicker Wood, and Bellicon conveniently somehow kidnaps Fisher. Don't know how he did that, really, to be honest.
In the Shadow Gate, I
Yeah,
have questions.
so many
I reread
questions.
that so many times because I was like, I listened to it and I read it, and then I was literally doing like an immersive experience because I was like, I don't understand how could you be grabbed in a shadow gate that you created that you just sent a bunch of people through? So did you just like, did they just walk past Bellicon, or did Bellicon be
Which,
like, yeep?
By the way, the only reason I feel like for Bellicon to do that would be is if he was like actually there, but he can't step on Collish land because of Fisher's father's wards.
Yeah,
So,
he's
like,
not there.
I don't understand how this happened. Hopefully it gets explained in the next book. Please
wait.
let this not be a
Please.
plot hole, but I feel like it
Also, why
is.
couldn't he die with his head cut off? Like, can't we be done with Bellicon?
I mean, if that's how he dies and they get rid of him, though, it feels very anticlimactic.
It is. That's very true.
But once again, we just get the answer from Adina that she needs to go to the Wicker Wood, which is so irritating.
Mm-hmm.
I do love we get the history of Nimarel here and like how
I liked that.
Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
hold it, how it's made of iron, all of that. We get Kaiden, Greystar, Finvara. The middle name sounds like a car or something, but sure.
No, it feels like it's Game of Thrones-ish a little. Greyjoy.
It is. It also reminds me of Star Wars, which I know she's like a big fan of. Adam Driver is like one of the like people she imagines Fisher as.
Which is so interesting to me.
Yeah, it feels very Star Wars like coded. I will say the whole name thing, and I've seen this on Reddit a lot, most fans are not, it's not that it's a bad name, it's that when you've been referring to a character for 2 books that are like 800 pages, to then all of a sudden be like, we're going to call them something completely different is really hard.
Oh, it is very, very, very explicit that people should not know his name because then people can control him, right? All of that. Why do we have to call him that? We can still call him Kingfisher. Saeris knows it. They break the spell. Everything ends up good. We don't need to keep calling him Kaidan.
I agree. Like I think he should have, instead of having the way it was where it was like, I feel like that's always been my name and I've always known it. I think it should have been the other way of like, I'm glad I know my name, but deep down I'll always be Kingfisher. And then we keep calling him Fisher.
It could have been a bonding point for the 2 of them so they can get married, so they can do that, you know, not now everybody's going to call him Kaidan because now I've released you from your name. What?
No, and Kai for short because apparently we're like so chummy with it already. And spoiler for Shield of Sparrows, that's the only other series I know of where we like change names. She does it in a way that is not uncomfortable because she does it halfway through the first book. You don't, even though he's the guardian, you're not like really that attached to that name yet. We've been using Fisher for like 2,000 pages. I'm never going to think of him as Kaiden. Just, I'm never going to do it.
No, I'm also never going to refer to him as that ever.
Ever. Literally ever. And I'm not saying it's a bad name. I'm just saying it's what she's trying to pull off is really difficult, and I don't think you can do it.
Well, and also going back to the Shield of Sparrows reference, the thing is he was also acting as a guardian. So it was just like a name and a role as opposed to like just a name.
Kingfisher is in a role?
Nah.
Okay, I'm done.
Like a bird.
I'm done. Let's talk about Onyx.
Yes,
Because
let's
that's
talk
the
about
important
Onyx.
part.
I finished the book first,
My
I think, and I
boy.
texted Allie, or when Allie got to that part, we were sidebarring, and we were like, we really hope Ashley finishes the book when she gets to this
Yeah,
part.
no, I almost
Literally
didn't.
was like, Ashley is going to throw the book and then just be like, I'm not picking this up
I'm
again.
done. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, it was one of those moments for me when it was really well done. I'll give her that. But do you guys watch Boys? The Boys?
I watched
there
the
was
first season, but not the
there
second.
I stopped watching it
Mhm.
when they made like, I don't even know the character, like eat of his friend, the octopus or whatever. I
Oh my
was like,
god, no, wait, I do watch this show, and that's exactly when I stopped watching it too.
yes, I was like, this is the worst thing I have ever seen on
I
television.
have nightmares about that scene. Me
me
and Tony loved that show, and we both looked at each other and we were like, we're never watching
We're
this
never
again.
watching it again.
Because he had to eat his octopus friend.
His own-
I think about it all of the
Me?
time. Like, this is
Me
my Roman Empire of like, I am so stuck on this. Like,
Me too.
I legitimately
too.
have nightmares about that
Me
scene.
too. It absolutely traumatized me.
It traumatized me in a way nothing on television ever has.
Me too. Not
Yeah.
and ever will.
Yeah.
But there was something
thank you.
about this sacrifice for Onyx that brought me back to my trauma point, which was the octopus.
Okay, this scene did not remind me of the octopus, thank God.
No, but whenever like something dies that shouldn't die, it's just I can't deal with it. I think the first thing I texted was absolutely not. Onyx must come back or something.
Yeah, well, I thought that too. As soon as I read it, I was like, there's no way she's killing off this fox. Like,
Right.
there's just no way.
No, it's
like,
it's like one of the best parts of the book. The only thing that makes sense.
it's the only reason I kept reading because I was like, okay, so when does he come back?
Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah.
does she save him?
Clearly.
Because she's gonna save him.
Yeah.
Healing magic.
Which I do love the
etc.
Onyx storyline. I know we theorized in book 1 that maybe they would have children and her like uterus would be regrown or healed or whatever's happening with her. But I'm
Yeah.
actually kind of hoping after this Onyx storyline that doesn't happen, because this storyline very much feels like for people who can't have children,
It's their baby.
yeah, that found
Yeah.
baby bond thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful and something we don't see in literature very often. And I kind of hope that she keeps it.
Yes.
I love their
Yeah.
relationship with Onyx. Like, they really treat him like he's their child.
Yes.
And it's just so
Yeah.
beautiful. And the
I think
fact
that's
that like
stunning.
she
Yeah.
even like breaks the rune, and Fisher completely supports her during all of it, of like, I don't care if you lose this magic, do it. Like,
Yeah.
he's our baby. Like,
Yeah.
I
this
just,
is our kid.
yeah.
This is our child. Yes, absolutely.
I kind of like don't want them to like have babies now. I love this storyline.
Like that
It's my favorite part.
perspective.
It's just so beautiful to me because we just, we don't see it that often. Obviously, there's so many people in the world who can't have children and find other ways to do it. And
Yeah.
I know, some people love a fur
Yep.
baby.
Fur
And,
babies. Fur babies
babies.
are
For
are
babies
the one.
for life.
The one.
Yeah.
For life.
So then after she rescues him, he just randomly end up basically an agent. I don't really know
He was
how or
gate
why
jumping
they
to
get
get
there.
away.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this feels convenient.
Yeah.
And they
Mhm.
finally find Renfis, who's been missing the entire freaking story, which was also super annoying. And
That,
there's
you know
just
what though, Alex? That is you made a really good point. That is a theme for this entire book. I feel like
Annoying?
everything is very, very convenient.
No, everything is way too convenient. It is way too much convenience in the book. Like, it, like, I don't want to say it's bad writing, but it also is a little bit of bad writing. Like, there's just too much convenience. But
So anyway, Renfis.
yes, Renfis, and we get to the end. Once again, it's convenient that he's been safe the whole time and was under this oath that no one remembered.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Was called to duty.
Yes, we all know what the reveal is.
Mm-hmm.
So we find out there's so many plot holes with this ending. Okay. So first of all, there's a pool here of Quicksilver that the alchemist could never control. So first of all, during the first part of this book, when Loreth is all like, Fisher couldn't go do this thing without you, he would need you to do it. She can't control this Quicksilver, so I don't know why Fisher needs her to go do this.
Yeah.
A. B, we find out this is the pool that Fisher went through as a kid without a relic, where he has Quicksilver in his eye, but she says that the pool is black, not silver. Confused. Talk about a plot hole. We also find out that Fisher's sword is from an old house from the traitor gods, which I think means Zareth. I think the underworld thinks that the other gods are traitors, probably, and vice versa.
Sure.
And
Which
they're
is
all,
a theme with gods.
yes.
Mhm.
And now they're all like, why can you hold a god sword? And then he's all like, wait, I am a god. Ha ha ha. And then we find out here's another plot hole that shadow magic doesn't belong in the Yevelian realm, but people make offhand comments about studying shadow magic, about Fisher's dad having shadow magic and other Fae having shadow magic this entire series.
Shadow cat.
Confused. Even what's her name, the healer, her husband, there's a whole scene where he's talking about all the different magics that he studies, and shadow magic is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, for some reason, it doesn't belong in Yavelia, and no one thinks that that's strange.
Mm-hmm.
Questions.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
half gods can wield shadows. Summon our father, tell him I've come to make a trade. Clearly, the trade is for a dragon. What is he trading? Don't know. Is it going to be his name, even though it's worthless now? Okay, so let's just talk about the big theory. Is
Yes.
Finran
Mhm.
Fisher's father figure, or is he actually Styx, the god of shadows, and he's been doing like crazy things? To me, the third option was also that his mom is the goddess of masks, and it's actually
Right.
not. And I think if that was the case, it would be, to me, when they say father, they mean like heavenly father, as in the way we
Sure.
talk about God, versus like biological father.
Sure.
And same thing with brothers. It's like they're not actually related. They're calling themselves brothers.
Yeah, because also that goes back to the story to where he got his toe chopped off, right? So was this god running around in the realm? Like, was he not guarding the areas that he was supposed to? Is that his like found dad?
Right.
Yeah.
So here is the biggest plot hole of all time that is just, I think you just have to let it go. But in the bonus chapter, the boots, the fox, whatever it's called,
The dress.
the dress, yes.
Yes.
Fisher's point of view, he literally says that he inherited the shadows from his mother.
Mother. Yeah.
And that he got illusion magic that's harder to use from his father. In this book, he literally says he gets the shadows from his father. And Fisher can't lie. So,
Allegedly.
we're just gonna chalk this up to that I think she might have changed her plotline and storyline at some point and had already released the bonus content and is just letting it lie. Because, like, there is just no way for me to get around this.
Okay.
Especially because Styx is the god of shadows. Styx is
Yes,
literally the god,
the
of,
god
shadows.
of shadows. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Unless she can put the mask on to be
The
Styx,
god of
like, I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys, this has to be the most metaphoric pinboard with all of the strings, threads of theory that we have ever done. Because I actually do feel like I need to like be pinning each of these things and doing the little strings because I'm like, okay, in this side story they said this, in this one they said this. How does this one connect to this? Because like
Yeah.
to Alex's point, the plot holes are everywhere.
It's
Yeah.
Swiss cheese. And, like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
There is like a way though that both parents had shadow magic. Like one parent
Okay.
was
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'm thinking like if one parent it was inherited by the bloodline and the other one is like God derived shadow magic, right? So like maybe that's why his abilities are like stronger than any known shadow user because he's like a hybrid. So he has like mortal shadow ability and divine shadow like potential. I don't know.
But there is no mortal shadow ability. They say that only half gods can wield shadows when he meets these two brother people. So it's
Oh.
just like,
Which do we think those are his
What?
actual brothers?
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't
Brother
know.
people.
But was the actual
My brother people.
Was the actual quote in the book, wasn't it like my father's strength has always been in his shadows? Or is it I got my shadows from my father?
It says, I am my father's son. My strength has always been my shadows. But then we also learn from a story that Archer told him about the toe and how he had to give some of his shadows away.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
granted, Archer is the one who told him that story, but it's still like, this is all a big stretch if none of that is true. Like,
Yeah, because it also
yeah.
felt very Peter Pan to where
Yeah.
he's like, here's one ring. Here you go.
but here's some
Yeah.
evidence to say, like, okay, so let's say Finran is the god of shadows, is Styx, and he's been living in Yavelia for however many years.
Okay.
Fisher does say he barely remembers his father at all.
Yeah.
Carrion
Mhm.
says he doesn't remember him at all. The
Mhm.
gods intervened when they fled Yavelia, and he is a god, so yes, he could have intervened.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Finran was not with Carrion when they exited the pool in Zivarin, hence being found by the Swift family and being named Carrion. Because
Yeah.
Finran magically just disappeared.
Yeah.
Elroy was given a job by someone, and Fisher gets hot all over his body. Like, he knows who gave Elroy this job somehow, which he knows Styx is still alive because he met him
Yeah.
as a boy.
Right.
Mhm.
Belicon and his magic are not welcome in Kalish, and that seems like a very powerful magic for someone who is just a fae.
Mhm.
If you can be asleep, like I said earlier, with Lainey and be transported to Hell, is that how Finran was ruling Kalish and Hell at the same time? Because his mind could be somewhere else.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I got. It feels like a lot of things could add up to him actually being Styx, the god of shadows, versus two separate people, and Finran was just like a father figure. I feel like there's not much evidence for that, other than, because here's where she wrote herself into a corner, Fisher can't lie, and he said, my father's bones rest somewhere in Silvarin.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless that's a verbiage thing to where it's like that's what he was told, so that's what he
Yeah,
knows.
exactly. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, that is his truth as of now. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't know
But it
that that's a
isn't,
lie.
because he met Styx when he was 11.
But maybe it's the father that he calls a father, not his father.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
No, that's what I'm
this is
saying. Like, the only evidence saying that Finran was not actually his biological father and just a father figure is that line. Whereas I feel like all the other lines point to Styx to being the god, like actually Finran. But also, I'd like to point out earlier in the book, before any of this happens, Saeris offhandedly even calls Fisher her Prince of Shadows, and he's literally a prince.
Yep.
My other point that Adina might also be the goddess of mask, her name is Nisinai or something, is earlier in the book, Saeris refers to Adina as Adina of the Seven Towers. And it's like, what does
Yeah.
that mean? And to me, it sounds very Game of Thrones coded with like seven faces, towers,
Yeah.
like
Which is
yeah.
witches.
Yeah.
yes.
Which is witches.
So I don't think that plot hole seals itself necessarily,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it's an interesting theory.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But once again, I feel like this whole plot line was book 4.
Yeah.
Book 3, or maybe the end of book 3 after we kill Belicon. And
yeah,
then we learn about
this should have been 2 different books. This should have been a split book. Like even a one of 2. Like it doesn't make sense that it was one and it was all over the fucking place.
it's so all over the place.
And the thing is, it's not bad. Like I didn't come out of it being like that was a bad book. It's just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
let's get into our roses, because it sounds
Yes,
like that's
please.
exactly where we're headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our roses segment, where we celebrate what bloomed and called out what prickled. This is our safe place to gush, critique, and lovingly argue with the text.
Lovingly argue. Yes.
Let's, as we always do, start with the roses, because I think we have a lot of thorns.
Yes. I know.
Yeah. So I do love the sex scenes in this book. They're very spicy. I mean, chapter 7, yes, sign me up. I love the plot line of Onyx in this book with the found baby of it all. Like, I just love it. I love Foley. I love his brooding. I love what's going to be his emotional arc and journey, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Any other roses?
The Fisher Carrion dynamic.
Yes.
Definitely the
Fisher
banter. The
Carrion
banter is
dynamic,
really,
the
really good.
banter,
Carrion
like,
always.
the bromance. Give them a spinoff. I'd read it.
Yep,
for sure.
I love Foley.
Foley's a big one for me too. I like Foley. He's unexpected and kind of like grounding in a way. He's like a tether to like the innocence of being put in a situation and just culture and society being sort of against you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that he loves
courage.
the library.
I love that he loves the library. I love that he lives there. Like,
love
I love
that he lives in
about
the
it.
library.
Yeah.
He's my spirit animal.
Yeah. Yeah. And that the cat loves him. You know what I mean?
Yep. I also do I will give it credit to the fact that it takes a lot of the threads from Quicksilver and dials it up. So there's bigger magic, messier politics, higher body counts, hornier stakes. Nothing really reset. It just compounded. Could it be
Yeah.
argued it compounded too much? I think so. Also, definite have to call out the footstool scene because I thought that was incredible. I thought it was hilarious to where she was just like, sit down. You're going to be my footstool now. Shut up, you bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I mean, that whole power dynamic was pretty dope.
Yeah, Saeris like coming into her power. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I
loved
did
that.
enjoy that.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I'll give you that. I'll give her that.
Any more roses before we head into our thorns?
Oh boy.
I think I hit all
Yeah.
my marks.
So, thorns, obviously, there's just too many freaking ideas in this book. I mean,
Mhm.
and I go back to when she released Quicksilver as an indie book. The second book was supposed to come out almost right away. And I almost feel like she did rewrite this book.
Okay.
Because
Or at least shoved a bunch of stuff into it.
with the combination of the editing errors with all the plot holes is what makes it feel rushed, which is weird because it shouldn't have been rushed because it was done supposedly so long ago.
Yeah.
So, and I do say the editing errors really don't help the plot holes. The
Yeah.
combination of the two makes me really not trust where this book is going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the editing errors are just like, oh, on top of the plot holes. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And the thing is, like you said earlier, Allie, like I didn't come out of reading this book being like, oh, I hated that by any means.
No, I
but
enjoyed it.
On a first read, I'm always a passenger princess. I'm just there for the ride. I'm enjoying it. I finished it and I loved the twist at the end. I was like, ooh, didn't see that coming. This is so
Right.
fun.
Right.
Yeah.
The
There was
second
a lot of that.
Yeah, the second I started deep diving it, I was like, wow, this book has way too much going on. It was very confusing. There was a lot of plots that went nowhere. And it just felt like we've said 1,000 times, this should have been a 5-book series. This should have been the plots of book 4 and 5. Yeah. And also, we still don't know where the other 2 Lupoperelia went from the gate. Weren't in the book at all.
Yeah, you're right.
The
You're
only
right.
one who died that we were like, well, Foley's dead, so I guess we won't see him again is the only one we got to meet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lordy.
Which I did kind of think maybe Foley was alive because he was in the cave. Tal said he found him or whatever. So he felt maybe still alive. I feel like Onyx's sacrifice and resurrection, for when resurrection tropes are really tricky, as they are, I do genuinely think that it's foreshadowing for probably what's going to come with Fisher.
Yeah, yes.
But why did it have to be Onyx?
Because it was small. Why did I don't know. It didn't have to be Onyx.
He's okay.
But he's okay.
He's
Or
okay.
else you would have lost me. I wouldn't be doing any more. I would be done.
Yeah.
I think we
I'd
all
be
would have been done.
Yeah, done.
The name change is confusing, but I feel like we kind of already hit that.
Yeah, I hate the name change. Even though I want to say this, I can't say this enough. I don't hate his name.
No, I don't hate the name.
The name change.
That's not what it is at all.
Yep.
At all. It feels a bit check marky. Like, it's very like, I dub the side quest book because all it is fucking side quests. Like, it's just side quest, side quest, side quest. Just, they're all on little side quests, and we don't know the real point.
There's almost no plot because there's just side quests.
Yeah. And for this should have been really like connecting a lot of dots, and I just feel like it didn't.
No, it just gave us a lot of confusing things that we brought up through threads of theory that we were like, why was this here? Why was this here? What was the point of this? This just ended, or like what's the point of Hayden? He's my trim. Please trim Hayden out of this book.
He's my trim too.
It just, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like him. He's got to go. Send him back.
Yep. He's
Yeah,
got to go.
Send him back.
The book completely dropped us off at a massive hinge point of the story where it stopped being contained chaos and it became a full catastrophe of an entirely different storyline.
Yeah.
Entirely which would have been fine if we would have closed off any of the other ones.
Yes. Like a great example is Sarah J. Maas and her universes. She's the master at writing an arc and a fall, closing off her storylines while also keeping threads open to continue the story.
Yes.
She's a master at that.
Yeah.
Like I'd say one of the best authors at it. Completely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is the opposite of that. Completely. And And a lot of the some of the critiques for Quicksilver were that people felt like she borrowed things from other series. I've always defended Quicksilver being like, those are tropes of all fae, or like those are in multiple books.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that. This was really, when I read this one, I was like, oh my God, there's so much in here from other series that really feel like not really
Too on the nose.
tropes from other, like from just general fae. I do think it comes back to the editor. No one being in her corner, questioning, pushing her to make it better.
Yeah.
Really saying, hey, do we need this here? Do we need that here? Is this the best way to show that? Like, editors don't just check for spelling errors.
Yeah.
You know, they really help guide someone to see the bigger picture of their story. And I feel like the editor here was just not good.
I agree.
Drop the ball completely,
which is insane, but
it's insane. This is not just the most anticipated book of the year for romantasy, but in fiction and books in general. This was one of the most anticipated books of the year, and they completely botched it. I feel like, they really dropped the ball on this one. And it's a 7-figure movie deal at Netflix. Like, what were you thinking?
Which, for whenever they write this, if they even get to this one, it is going to be multiple seasons. Like,
well, it's supposed to be a movie,
like a
but
different
I think
movie
this is going to have to be
like,
a TV show now.
Yeah.
Because of this
but
book.
Also, the biggest critique is going to be, like, it's too back and forth. It's too, oh, here's what we have to do now. Okay, so we're going to go do it. Check. We did that. So now what do we have to do? It's just like, it's a TV show.
And too much like, oh, we're in the library. We went to college. Oh, we're in the library. Oh my God. If we like went back and forth between library and the college any more times, I was going to scream. Like, with nothing happening, by the way, all of the things that happened, all the scenes could have happened in one scene.
Yep.
So today I went to the library and I got a crumb on the book.
Oh, no. Nobody cares.
Do we have any more trims other than Hayden? I mean, obviously, I feel like there's a lot of trims, but Hayden was the biggest one to me.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't a bad book. I am happy I read it. I will read the next one, but ultimately,
it definitely killed the series a little bit. Like, in my mind, Quicksilver was up there with Fourth Wing and ACOTAR.
Agreed.
And all of those really big, amazing fantasy series. And this really went from being like, you're in the top of your league to a little bit amateur. Of like, oh, this series is like, okay, I'm going to read it for a good time. But like, your world building, your plot holes, there's just too many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It just wasn't done well. Like, it just...
Yeah.
Listen, it is a fantastic read if you don't think too hard about it.
Right, you can't.
Yep, at the end of this, I'm putting my passenger princess hat back on.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Yeah.
Just enjoy the ride. Don't think too hard about it. Don't ask questions.
No, don't try and
go
analyze
on the ride.
Have fun.
Which brings us to our buds of what are we looking forward to in book 3. I'm hoping some of my Swiss cheese holes get filled in a little bit.
Yeah, so many things. All the unanswered lore.
Yeah. I mean, the rot, brimstone is a weapon. Dragons,
Foley. I want to know more about. I also want to see Renfist more. Like, he was supposed to be this huge character, and then we didn't see him for an entire book.
To that point, the Erythian Knights.
Yes.
I would like Lainey to wake up finally.
I would like
honestly, just get her out of the book at this point. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like her point in the book is. I don't understand.
I am divested in her as a character. Like,
I'm completely divested.
Yeah.
I mean, weirdly, I care about Danya more. I'm like, she's kind of like weird and funny and odd. I'll take some more Danya.
Yep. I want to know why she is the way she is, you know?
Yeah, she's an odd duck, and I'm kind of into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And that's Brimstone, a book that gave us severed oaths, burned runes, feral devotion, and at least 3 moments where we had to put the book down and just stare at a wall. We laughed, we cried, we yelled at ancient beings, and we always trusted the fox.
If there's one thing this story proves, it's that love in this world is never soft. It's chosen, fought for, and often paid in blood, magic, or both. Saeris and Fisher don't survive because the world is kind. They survive because they refuse to let it win.
Next up, I know, drumroll please, we are diving into Crescent City.
Whee!
Because we are manifesting, preparing, and spiritually bracing ourselves for hopefully ACOTAR 6 being released, or at the very least, being announced this year. So consider this your warning. The corkboard is coming back out. And yes, I do want to say we will be covering Crescent City, but all of the ACOTAR Crescent City universe, Thrones of Glass, will be involved in our deep dive, because if you've read Crescent City, you know why.
So, thank you for spiraling through runes, dragons, and morally complicated men with us. If you loved this episode, please don't forget to rate, review, and share. It helps us more than a well-placed break rune.
Until next time, scribes, guard your oaths and mind your magic. Saucy scribes.
Out.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.